Hey there. I'm alone right now. Gonna read a creepypasta on Wattpad of all places. The best place to have a creepypasta ever. Called Smiley. Truth Behind Wal-Mart's Mascot. This is by Smash Brawl Fanfiction. There will probably be a link in the description. I don't actually know. So let's get into this. If you grew up in the 90s and went to Walmart, you might recall the little yellow smiley face stickers the people greeter would hand out to kids. Yes, because, everybody knows what you're talking about. I mean, I get you referencing that it's from the 90s, but I've seen them too. And I wasn't born in the 90s. Or grew up in the 90s, or whatever. Most of us, there are multiple people in this. Oh, great. Most of us, this made the trip to the store fun. What? And not getting a sticker was some of the worst times for many of us children. Yes, the worst possible thing that could happen to you is not divorce or some other really horrible, horrible thing. No, it's not getting a sticker. The yellow smiley face would bounce around in television ads and was printed on the floors. It was everywhere. Everywhere that was Walmart. Then, as if overnight, the face went away. It just disappeared. Not many people knew why that had happened. Dogs were barking. Not many people knew why that had happened, and it is still hard to find out why. But if you're lucky, you can hunt down the true story of the events leading to the recall of the yellow smiley face. Yes, if you're lucky, you can find out the truth that it was probably just some sort of corporate flop. Around 1997, at the Bloomington, Illinois Walmart, they let go a door greeter who had been with Walmart, I almost said become with Walmart, for over 10 years. Ooh, why would you stay there for 10 years? You couldn't find any other better paying job for 10 years? The man was unusually young when they chose him for the part. He was a baby. That's unusually young. But people loved him and his way of greeting. People were infatuated to the point where they were Nina. He would sing and dance and welcome people with a big smile on his face. That's why he got fired. He wasn't doing it right. And some even say that is where they got the idea for Smiley. That part is very much untrue, but he took to being called Smiley and even changed his legal name to it in 1995. But it still wasn't the inspiration for the smiley face. Because of course not. That following year, he started painting his face yellow to show up for work, and people enjoyed that as well, for some reason. It wasn't for work. Oh, no. I read that wrong. It wasn't until April of 1997 that Smiley crafted a large foam ball, and painted the smiley face on it, that people decided they couldn't handle the young man anymore. He was too much for them. Their brains couldn't comprehend the idea of a giant smile ball. Children stopped laughing at the weird man with the yellow face and started crying. So apparently they started laughing at him and then started crying. Smiley did all he could to try and make the kids smile, but every single one of them would just react the same way. Fear! Yes, they were terrified! I don't understand why children could be afraid of a smiley face. The Easter Bunny is much more terrifying. Putting so much time and work into making the head, he would be darned if he didn't make it work some way. So he started asking parents if their kids told him what scared them the most. And most came back saying that their children didn't like how big the head was. This is too much. So breaking down, he's made of paper. He made the head smaller. Kids loved it, and Smiley loved it too. But the children he so adored once again adored him. Adorable. May came, and so did the heat, and it made wearing the head a pain for Smiley. He just wasn't going to give it up. Many days he found himself ready to pass out and needing to rush to his car to sit and let the AC cool him down. He didn't take the head off when he rushed to his car, he just kept it on, not wanting the kids to see him without the head on. One day, when he needed to run his car, he was having a hard time seeing due to the sweat running in his eyes. Yes, his eyes can sweat now. Gross imagery. He bumped into something and then heard a loud thud sound. That was me. He heard me. Not sure what happened, he yanked the head off. He yanked it off, he tore it to pieces. Brutal murder of a head! There was a red sports car parked in front of him. The driver was getting out and running around, just running around randomly to a small group of people just about 10 feet in front of the car. Smiley walked over and forced his way through the people. He just shoved them aside, just became the Tokyo Ghoul main character, just picked everybody up, flung them all over the place. Or a Titan from Attack on Titan. Anime references. Through the people to see a young girl lied out on the pavement. Blood gushing from the fresh wound on her face. It was very fresh. It was grade A meat. This is Wal-Mart we're talking about, after all. She had to have been dead. It wasn't just a little wound. No, the top part of her head was turned back. The top part of her head was turned back. Not turned, not turning, turn. Okay. Separating her lower jaw from the rest of her head. She looked as if she had some sort of crude smile on her face because, of course, stretching from ear to ear. Then something happened. Because nothing happened before this. The little girl's eyes snapped to meet Smiley's. Snapped in half. Blood gurgled out of her mouth, sounding like a cat painful meow being filled with water. What? Is she drowning? I can relate to this now. Who's eavesdropping on me? I hear you eavesdropping. That's fine, I don't care. She did this 3 long time. 3 long time, yes. I can't even. Oh, it's you, Jane. I can't, I'm dying. Oh, that's good. 3 long time. And then a single tear dropped from her eye. And she died. I can't even. It dropped from her eye. It just fell. The father and brother both howled out. They're dogs. They're werewolves. I'm so dead. Oh my gosh. They howled out in pain from the loss. They lost their car keys. I'm so sorry. The driver of the red sports car tackled Smiley and began beating him. What? Why? Smiley was beaten so bad he was sent to the hospital unconscious.
Wait a second. Wait, why? Why? Why beat him?
I know, it doesn't really make sense.
He had nothing to do with that.
It was an accident. It's not like he
Wait.
actually shoved her in the way of the car. Awkward silence. For a week, he stayed in his little hospital room. It was his and his alone. Finding out the parents didn't want to press charges because their little girl had loved Smiley from the time she was little. No, that's they didn't want to press charges because it was an accident. Often drawing picture of her. Just a picture. Just one. And him dancing and playing. It just didn't seem right to punish a man who had brought so much joy to their little 8-year-old's life, even if he was the cause of her death unintentionally. It doesn't say unintentionally, but I wanted to add that in. Despite that, the manager saw fit to let Smiley go. Children had been coming in after that day wanting to make sure they would never see him again. Wow, that turned from love to hate real fast. And they, after 5 days of the and over what? And they, after 5 days of the and over 40 children, what? This sentence is not a sentence. After 5 days of the and over 40 children asking, the manager didn't see anything else that could be done. Yet none of this bothered Smiley. He just kept thinking back to how the little girl looked like she was smiling, the biggest smile of her life. And even the sounds of her last breath sounded like laughter. All of it burned into his mind. His mind was set on fire. Good! Set it on fire!
Kill it with fire.
That's how you kill everything, folks. You burn it. Violently.
Meanwhile, Jeff is probably somewhere hiding in a corner.
Yeah. After leaving the hospital and going home, Smiley started trying to draw the little girl in her last moments. Strange.
Why?
He'd begun to fear that one day he might forget how happy she looked. No matter what, he just couldn't capture that feeling of looking in her eyes. That feeling of looking in her eyes. No! That's not... Boy! Boy! No! No matter what
I'ma just leave now.
No matter what, he just couldn't capture that feeling of looking in her eyes, watching her, quote-unquote, laugh. So after a few months of trying and keeping himself locked away, he thought that maybe he should get out in the world. Maybe he should get out and get another job. Seeing other happy children might help him recapture that feeling from May. That was the girl's name, apparently. Not the month. So she came, and so did the heat. So out of impulse, he grabbed his Smiley head on his way out the door. It was December now. Time skip. And Smiley went to the only place he ever loved. Wal-Mart. He only loved Wal-Mart. He didn't love his childhood home. He didn't love literally anywhere else. Just Wal-Mart. Inside the kids ran all about the store. There should be a calm after inside. Getting ready for Christmas. Smiley had been waiting for Christmas since he made the head. He was going to wear a Santa suit with the bright yellow ball on and sing for his children. They're not your children. But no now. That's actually what it says. It says, but no now. No, that was taken away from him. As he walked the store, he tied Wal-Mart to a leash. Come on, Wal-Mart, we got stuff to do. Oh my gosh. People stared at him, some even running away. Should be ran. When the manager of the store found Smiley, he was standing, looking at sledgehammers in the tools. The sledgehammers were inside of the tools. Not the tool section, the tools. Because that makes sense. You can't have that on in here anymore, Smiley. You ruined it. You ruined it for everybody. You ruined our good times. I came out to have a good time, and I'm honestly feeling attacked right now. Smiley just looked at the man, unsure of what he was talking about, and silently turned back to the sledgehammers. When the manager then tried to pull at Smiley's head, that when he realized he'd walked into the store with the yellow thing on. It was already late though. It was already too late though. Not the right two. Something snapped and Smiley... Something snapped. It was a bone. And Smiley grabbed one of the sledges and began bashing in the manager's face. Gross. Looking down, the manager's eyes meet his. The joy was there that the little girl had. Finishing off the manager, he raced to the toys. There he stood at the end of the Barbie aisle, blood dripping from the hammer and specks of it on his yellow head. The first little girl to see him screamed as he silently ran up to her and smashed the top of her head in with the hammer. Brain matter, blood, and skull fragments raining down on the plastic covers of the Barbie boxes. More children screamed, parents screaming and running. What? A man charged him, quickly falling to the ground with the top of his head missing. It just disappeared. Brain spilling out on the floor. Liquid brains are what's in right now. One by one, he smashed in the heads of the children and their parents, because apparently he hates them now. When the cops got there, he was done killing and was now painting with their blood and bits. He was trying to recreate the little girl who he had first gotten killed, but it wasn't working. He paced back and forth even as the cops threatened him. With each pace he screamed, "It's not right. The eyes are not right. The smile is not right. Nothing is right." By the time the cops got him into the car, he was just sobbing, repeating it all over and over. They counted the bodies and found that he had killed at least 30 people that day. And they didn't show up sooner. But the mess was so bad it was really hard to tell. Somewhere, not one word, along the way, the cop car driving Smiley crashed, and when they found it, Smiley was nowhere to be seen, and the driving officer's head was smashed in. When the word of this got to the head people at Wal-Mart, they're just heads floating in the air. They quickly pulled all ads with the smiley face and recalled all the stickers. Smiley is still on the most wanted list, but it's a separate list for people whose legal names are so obscure most people think it's a joke. If you ever see the list, his name Smiley is there. What? With a yellow Wal-Mart smiley sticker on the face of a random man. Oh, that's the end of it, and there are no comments. It's fabulous, and I just hit a thing. It's not. No, please. No. There we go. This was an absolute monstrosity. I've seen worse, but I've seen way better. If I had to give this some sort of rating, I guess it'd be a 3 out of 10. It's laughably bad. Partially rage-inducing. Anyways, I'm gonna go get somebody else to read a different one, I guess, because this seems to be the trend for tonight, so... I guess I'll grab LJ or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's the end of Smiley, Truth Behind Wal-Mart's Mascot. See ya in another horrible video. Bye.